Government has implemented a number of measures to quell crime and violence. States of emergency, zones of special operation are implemented in several parishes. In addition, the Jamaica Constabulary Force has joined forces with the Jamaica Defence Force to maintain law and order on the streets during the Christmas season. But all of these measures are futile without your help. Law-abiding citizens should speak up against wrongdoings within their communities. In addition, you must exercise safety while on the road. Do not be a victim. Thanks for joining us on another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson, inviting you to stay with us as we provide you with the information that you need to know. The magazine unfolds right now.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, December 17. Expansion work on the runway at the Sangster International Airport has begun following a groundbreaking ceremony last Thursday. The project is being undertaken at a cost of $70 million with completion projected by the end of September 2020. The expansion will, among other things, increase the length of the strip by 278 meters, establish safety areas at either end of the runway, and install a jet blast screen to improve the effective use of the taxiway. Minister of Transport Robert Montego says the extension is also expected to reposition the airport to accommodate larger, more powerful planes while significantly reducing arrival and departure timelines.
There will be additional meters for safety zone, which will bring the runway into compliance with the international civil aviation standards. It is indeed a great milestone and should be recognized nationally as a remarkable contribution to Jamaica's economic prosperity. All is said, this is far more than just a facelift. It is a comprehensive overhaul that amounts to a far safer and more efficient airport and will allow us to accommodate the long-haul flights out of Asia and out of Europe.
The Sangster International Airport is being operated by Montego Bay Jamaica Airports Limited (MBJ) under a 30-year concession agreement with the government. Minister Montego says the runway extension program forms part of MBJ's capital improvement plan that is designed to ensure continued compliance with local and international aviation safety and security standards. With amendments being made to Section 24 of the Child Care and Protection Act, a child deemed beyond control will no longer be placed in correctional facilities. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck says the amendments will take effect on December 31. According to Minister Chuck, what pertains now is that the court can order a child deemed beyond control to be remanded to a juvenile correctional center or committed to the care of any fit person. The court can also place a child for a period not being more than 3 years under the supervision of a probation and aftercare officer, a children's officer, or some other person. However, with the amendments to Section 24, the court must make an order of referral to child diversion. This is to facilitate an evaluation of the child by relevant experts as to the best interest of the child and the circumstances of the child's behavior. Minister Chuck also says a recommendation on the review of the Sexual Offences Act is to include provisions in the Child Care and Protection Act. This to make it mandatory for parents who display certain discrepancies to attend parenting classes and get additional support. The rollout of the amendments is expected to accompany the Child Diversion Act. The act aims to reduce the number of children who are charged with offences and are exposed to the formal criminal justice system. Approximately 36 housing units are to be constructed in Arnold, Montego Bay in the coming year. The $1.5 billion housing project by Dream 36 Housing Development was launched recently. It will accommodate 6 two-bedroom and 24 one-bedroom apartments, as well as 6 three-bedroom penthouses. The complex will also have a movie theater, a rooftop jacuzzi, bar and coffee lounge, and ample parking for homeowners and guests. Speaking at the launch, National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang said the project points to the fact that major development is taking place in the second city.
The level of entrepreneurial spirit that is come out of Montego Bay, and it's good to have seen coming into Montego Bay, the young professionals who have identified from architecture, surveying, banking, and all this that has gone to creating in the real estate sector. But what it tells you is that there's a whole pool of high quality, bright, young Jamaicans in Montego Bay, laying the foundation for a strong future development of an even bigger Montego Bay.
Meanwhile, Minister Chang says the government continues to take proactive steps to tackle squatting across the country. Dr. Chang advises that a program to adequately upgrade the infrastructure and improve the lives of residents in targeted informal settlements in St. James is far advanced, noting that the move is a critical part of the urban regeneration process. December 2020 is the new deadline to complete renovation work at the Cornwall Regional Hospital. The hospital's Independent Oversight Committee made the announcement recently while stating that the projected cost is in the region of $3.8 to $4 billion.
Based on the information that I have and my observations and what I see and the information I get from the Project Management Office, I do believe that the project can be completed, or I should say will be completed by the end of 2020.
According to Professor MacDonald, under Phase 1, work on the roof of the 10th floor has been completed. He says work is progressing well on the demolition of interior walls and further strengthening of the hospital's roof under Phase 2.
The contractor has now been engaged for 2B. He's about to engage the contractor. And then the last phase is third phase, which is where you will then see most of the visible construction work taking place.
Consumers are being urged to exercise due diligence when making purchases during the Yuletide season. Among the safeguards given by the Consumer Affairs Commission (CAC) are asking for a proper receipt and about a return policy, as well as examining and testing items while in the store. Chief Executive Officer Dulcie Allen says knowing the length of the warranty on items purchased is also important. She was speaking at a JIS think tank recently.
Warranty is extremely important, especially on high-value items, electronic items, those type of items. Make sure you ask for warranty. And there are times when warranty is included in the packaging. When you look at the manual and the vendors don't offer you that level of warranty, you have to insist on it. The Consumer Protection Act speaks specifically to the warranty being extended by the manufacturers to the consumer.
Meanwhile, Director of Communications Latoya Halstead also urged consumers to query the terms and conditions when purchasing gift vouchers for their loved ones during the Christmas season.
Make sure that you know what the store's policy is or the business's policy. The fact is, some gift vouchers will state what the expiry date is, some will not. If it does not state, ask. That way, you will not lose your money, and the person for whom you intend to benefit from this voucher, they too will not say, "How come? I didn't have a chance to use it yet, and it has expired, and I can't use it again," so your money would have gone down the drain.
And finally, the Ministry of Labour and Social Security is facilitating early encashment of pension vouchers. National Insurance Scheme NIS pensioners with vouchers payable December 23 to 26 may cash them at the post office starting December 16. The ministry says the early encashment of vouchers is intended to provide pensioners with access to their benefits in time for the festive season. However, it says the National Commercial Bank NCB will only encash vouchers on or after the payable date. The Ministry of Labour is also reminding individuals who use NIS stamp cards to make their contributions and note that the minimum amount will be increased from $150 to $200 per week as of January 2020. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.
I'm deeply concerned by the number of Jamaicans killed on our roads. Safety on our roads is our responsibility. Jamaicans, drivers, passengers, motorcyclists, and pedestrians, slow down. Observe the rules of the road. Be courteous. Drive defensively. Be considerate. Buckle up. Wear a helmet. The careless overtaker is only rushing to the undertaker. Not observing the rules of the road could cost you your life and that of your loved ones. I encourage all road users to take special care as we use public thoroughfares. The life you save may be your own. Remember, your family wants you to arrive alive.
Next, the latest happenings out of the office of the Prime Minister.
Jamaica to get maritime equipment from Japan, commits to the transformation of the ACP grouping, and the diaspora urged to boost economic ties with their resident countries. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Anthony Morgan. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is now back on the island after successful visits to Kenya and Japan this past week. On his first assignment, Mr. Holness left the island on December 6 for Nairobi, Kenya. He was in the African country for the 9th summit of the African, Caribbean and Pacific ACP group of states. At the December 9 and 10 summit, Jamaica and the other 78 members revised its constitutive act, the Georgetown Agreement, and finalized its position on the post-Cotonou negotiations with the European Union. ACP members also agreed to transform the grouping into an international body to be known as the Organization of the ACP States, OACPS. In his address at the summit, Mr. Holness urged members to deepen their use and support of multilateralism. The Prime Minister reasoned that the multilateral system is an important tool in tackling the myriad of challenges ACP countries face. Mr. Holness also asserted that multilateralism was the only system which allows small and large countries to have an equal voice on the world stage.
We will be relying on a fit-for-purpose ACP Secretariat, capable of operating in a technology-driven, gender-sensitive global context. Our Secretariat must produce at levels comparable to other international organizations, consistent with best practices, financially secure and viable. We commit to making multilateralism work at all levels in the new OACPS and in the interest of development for all our peoples.
And ahead of the main summit, Prime Minister Holness addressed an ACP business conference on December 9. He called on member countries, particularly those in Africa, to consider taking up investment opportunities in Jamaica. These include energy, infrastructure, technology, and finance. He gave a similar charge to the Jamaican diaspora living in Kenya.
Call up your family in Jamaica, your friends in Jamaica, your business people in Jamaica to say, hey, there are opportunities for investment and trade in Kenya. Come and see what is in Kenya. And for you as well here to say to Kenyan businessmen, hey, there are opportunities in Jamaica. Go and see what is happening in Jamaica.
Mr. Holness used his time in Kenya to hold bilateral talks with President Uhuru Kenyatta. Discussions centered on deepening economic and social ties.
For over 5 decades, Japan has been a major partner and genuine friend to Jamaica. Japan has consistently demonstrated its friendship to Jamaica in numerous ways, including through technical and economic programs and volunteer missions in diverse areas. We are deeply grateful for these contributions to our national development efforts.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness during Thursday's joint press conference with his Japanese counterpart, Shinzo Abe. Mr. Holness was in Japan for a 3-day official working visit, which coincides with the 55th year since the establishment of Jamaica-Japan diplomatic relations. Following bilateral talks, Jamaica and Japan signed an agreement which will see Japan providing Jamaica with maritime patrol vessels. The vessels are expected to significantly enhance Jamaica's maritime security and disaster response capabilities. Trade and investment opportunities in both countries were also enhanced with the signing of a Jamaica-Japan tax convention.
Prime Minister Abe, I welcome your call for more robust action on climate change, as well as your pledges towards the replenishment of the Green Climate Fund, and I encourage others to follow your sterling example.
And in that vein, Mr. Holness toured an incineration plant in Tokyo. While in the Asian country, the Prime Minister had dinner with the Prince and Princess of Japan. He held talks with Governor Shinji Hirai and met several heads of agencies. They include the Japan International Cooperation Agency, Japan Olympic Committee, Japan's main base for the Wide Area Disaster Management, as well as the Ministries of Economy and Defense. Mr. Holness also met with Marubeni Corporation and the Association of Japanese Importers of Jamaican Coffee. Prime Minister Holness closed out his engagements in Japan by meeting with the Jamaican diaspora. As he updated the gathering on developments in Jamaica, he urged them to assist in sharing information on Japan's high-tech waste management system that may be replicated on the island. Mr. Holness also shared government's temporary amendment to the Noise Abatement Act, which would allow social events to go up to 2 a.m. during the week and 4 a.m. on weekends.
We want Jamaicans to be able to enjoy their culture, to consume it, to produce it, to be able to create value from it. And so what we're doing is to give the legal space within our culture will be able to flourish. That's what we want to do. But at the same time, we want those who feel that they don't want to be disturbed, they want to be able to sleep in peace and enjoy their property and their peace of mind, that they should also be able to do it.
Back in Jamaica Sunday, Mr. Holness held his annual Christmas treat for children. Scores of boys and girls from corporate area children's homes scattered the lawns of Jamaica House for a day of fun. And later in the evening, they went home with gifts from Prime Minister Holness and his wife, Juliet. The Prime Minister also extended congratulations to 23-year-old St. Thomas-born Tony and Singh, who was on Saturday crowned Miss World. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more news stories coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.
What if they knew that you abused her? Her family?
Mr. Jones.
And your colleagues, how will they look at an abuser? When the law comes knocking, you'll have nowhere to run.
Mr. Brown, you're under arrest. Please get up, hands behind your head and interlock your fingers.
Turn your back on abusers. Report gender-based violence to the police. There's no excuse for abuse. Call the Bureau of Gender Affairs at 876-754-8577. As we approach the end of the year, it's natural to reflect on the infrastructure implemented during 2019. For instance, access to justice was greatly improved as courtrooms were modernized. The Court of Appeal is now expanded and more convenient for its users. Take a look.
Where there is no justice, the people perish.
On any given day, courts throughout the country render the decisions that impact the lives of many people. Our nation entrusts the courts as the final interpreter of the law. The Jamaican legal system is shaped by judicial chambers, such as the Traffic Court, Gun Court, Family Court, Revenue Court, Petty Sessions, the Resident Magistrates Court, the Supreme Court of Jamaica, and the Court of Appeal. Added to the efforts of those seated in these courthouses, the built environment largely impacts the pace of the wheels of justice.
There is too a strong recognition and appreciation that the wheels of justice turn slowly, but I might dare say it grind exceedingly fine. For indeed, dispensing justice is as much a function of the quality and integrity of our learned luminaries of law, and to that we as a nation are not only well endowed and boast a rich legacy of which we can be proud.
Part of that justice legacy is the newly renovated Court of Appeal building, located deep inside the bustle of our capital city, Kingston.
It is my pleasure to welcome you to the symbolic opening of Phase 1 of the expanding Court of Appeal building.
Today marks a significant chapter in the ongoing quest of the Ministry of Justice to upgrade and develop the country's court facilities. Our goal is for courtrooms to be beacons of hope and centers of excellence. Our mission is for our courts to deliver quality service and timely justice to our people.
I want to say how very happy I am with the expansion and relocation of the Court of Appeal. It is a milestone achievement which has significant implications for the people of Jamaica in terms of access to justice.
The $846 million Jamaican dollar structure was made possible through funding support from the European Union. It is outfitted with 3 new courtrooms, 14 judges' chambers, 2 lounges, an expanded registry, and other upgraded facilities.
I stand proud on behalf of the European Union and its 28 member states and share with you this great achievement in Jamaica's history. We are encouraged by these positive achievements, and based on the current rate of progress in implementation of indicators, it is highly likely that the sector will achieve progress.
The expansion was carried out by YP Seaton Contractors, whose detailed architectural plan will provide the nation with a much smoother course of justice.
And I want to congratulate YP Seaton, the architects, because they work 24/7, and most times during the day they could not work because the Court of Appeal was sitting. And so over 70% of the work that they did was actually done after 4 o'clock, right into the night. And believe me, what you will see, ladies and gentlemen, is what I consider to be first-class facilities.
But what does having a first world Court of Appeal mean for the people of Jamaica? And what of the hopes of those dispensing justice in our nation? The Court of Appeal is the highest appellate court in Jamaica, where persons who are dissatisfied with a decision of one of the other courts, except petty sessions, can appeal to. It is the hope of the Ministry of Justice that this renovation will greatly improve the case flow within the court.
And so, with the provision of this outstanding court, this outstanding edifice, the beginning of things to come, we will meet our goal of becoming the best in the Caribbean, one of the best in the world. And when we accomplish this, we will make Jamaica the place to live, work, do business, raise families, and the 5th one, retire in peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jamaica can be a peaceful place. It must be a peaceful place, and the justice sector will play a pivotal role in ensuring not only peace and justice, but prosperity for all of our people.
Mosquitoes can spread diseases such as dengue fever. Common symptoms of dengue include fever, severe headache, pain behind the eyes, muscle pain, joint pain, skin rash, nausea, and vomiting. If you feel you have dengue fever, visit your doctor or health center, rest, drink lots of fluids, use only paracetamol for pain. Do not take aspirin or other painkillers. Protect yourself from dengue and other mosquito-borne diseases. A message from the Ministry of Health.
Lolita Ingram Lewis. I'm from Manchester. I live in Western Jamaica. And I'm a truck driver for the past 26 years. My stepfather, Jeffrey Wint, he used to drive a Buffalo Leland and he taught me how to shift the box. Then one morning he just said, carry the truck down off the hill. I could steer because I could drive a car. So I started driving truck from I was about 10. I used to be a security officer. Then I applied for this job and they gave me a 3-month contract. Then they love how I drive. I don't destroy the truck and I take good care and I'm a good driver. Then they give me a 1 year. So since they give me the 1 year, so they say, you're qualified to go get the new truck. This is a Shackman truck. It has 10 speed, 5 high, 5 low. It has shanker. It's for the retirement dump, this dump. We're gonna be working in this dump. So yes, I'm gonna be running it. As you know, this is the steering. This is the emergency lockup brake. It's in lock position. When you want to move, you have to release it, put it down this side. It's a 10-speed box. So anytime you move it, you have to stick the clutch. This is 1, 2, 3, down 4, 5, flip the button, go over, you get 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's neutral. You put it down, then you select it in third. Then as I said, this button around this side brings up the body, right? And after you tip up the body and coming back down, you have to take it out third and you have to disengage the PTO, right? And as you can see, it's brand new. The plastic is still on it. This is the horn. It has two horn. You can do like this and it goes, and then you have a louder horn when you press it, it goes. Okay. And it has air condition, a little radio. I would go for the single mothers who are raising kids on their own. This is possible. From I do it because I'm a single mother for Brittany MacArthur. And it's possible. Not because I've been doing it for 26 years. I raise kids in between. But for the girls who think that they have to depend on a guy to get their nails done, their hair done, they can become a truck driver. I wish the government, though, would open a trucking academy. You understand? So men, females, mothers can become a truck driver and inspire other girls too. I have to say thanks to my daughter who wake up 5 o'clock in the morning so I can come to work. She don't like it, but I said, if I don't work, you can't go to a prep school. You can't do swimming. You can't do gymnastics. So mommy gotta work. So I want to say thanks to my daughter, Brittany MacArthur, for helping me to accomplish my dreams.
We've come to the end of our show, but only for today. Do catch us again tomorrow on this station. Here's a reminder to send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at gis.gov.jm. You may also connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and of course, there's Twitter. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.